Hello and welcome. This is ASO TV News. Many thanks for joining us. I am Tina Oje-Achu. The headlines. President Tinubu approves Nigerian team for Nigeria-US security group. FCT Minister Barrister Wike revokes Apo Karachi Road contracts, re-awards project to new contractor. Federal government designates Victor Atta Airport, Uyo as international airport. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has approved the constitution of the Nigerian side of the U.S.-Nigeria Joint Working Group as part of steps to deepen collaboration in tackling security challenges in the country. The composition of the group was part of the agreement reached during the recent trip to Washington, D.C. by a high-level Nigerian delegation led by the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. The NSA, according to a statement on Thursday, is expected to lead the Nigerian side of the group and will be supported by a multi-stakeholder team comprising senior officials from relevant government establishments. Other members of the Joint Working Group include the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru, Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Bernard Duru, Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Mohammed, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, has announced the revocation of the long-stalled Apo Karachi Road project, earlier awarded to Kakata Construction Company. Barrister Wike said the revocation and rewarding of the contract is to serve the best interests of residents who have for long been suffering due to the non-completion of the project. Usman Katun Umar reports.
Speaking with newsmen after inspecting several ongoing projects, including the Karu Custom CBN Road, the Gishiri Katampe Link, and the Apo Wasa Carriageway, the minister said the Apo Karachi contract has now been re-awarded under emergency procurement to a firm with proven capacity. He added that the new contractor will move to site immediately ahead of an official flag-off. Barrister Wike stressed that the award of critical infrastructure should not be influenced by politics, noting that only contractors capable of delivering on schedule will be engaged by the FCT administration.
Let me tell you the truth, we have terminated our contract. I can award it to SCC. If you go there now, you see that they've started a work. It's a road that so many people are very interested because it will decongest some of these areas. So we feel it, and that's why. And like I said, we have to continue to play politics when it concerns the welfare of the people. That road has been terminated, and the road leading from Kubwa to Buhari has also started.
The minister, while in Karu, also addressed concerns from a property owner whose shop was marked for demolition. He assured that the administration will provide appropriate compensation in line with due process.
Block the water channel. And we were even sympathetic by saying that we are going to give you money, but we must allow the water to have its way, because if flood, it will cause a lot of flooding. That will also not be good for the people living around there. So sometimes we should not be emotional that she's crying. She did the wrong thing. And like I've said, you see, government is like today, nobody wants to take action. Does not mean tomorrow another person will come and will not take action. What is the interest? The people want the road, and the people want the water to have its way so that the areas will not be flooded. She do allow simply because somebody has gone to block the waterway, and because her property will go down. In the first place, she caused the problem. But we're giving the human face by saying, okay, we'll give you some funds so they can find alternative. Ordinarily, we don't need to have done that, but what she had done was to violate the building regulation.
The minister, however, insisted that emotions cannot override public interest, saying the affected corridor forms part of the project the FCT administration plans to commission during President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's third-year anniversary. Usman Katun Umar, ASO Television News.
The House of Representatives has inaugurated an ad hoc committee to investigate the rising insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory, despite the installation of a $460 million CCTV system funded through a Chinese loan. Speaker Dr. Abbas Tajuddin, in a remark at the inauguration Thursday in Abuja, described a growing wave of kidnappings, armed robberies and killings in the FCT as unacceptable and intolerable. He noted that Abuja, once seen as one of West Africa's most peaceful capitals, is now grappling with frequent violent crimes, questioning why the multi-million-dollar CCTV project designed to enhance surveillance and security operations failed to curb the worsening security situation. Speaker Abbas, represented by a lawmaker, Mr. Julius Pondi, said Nigerians deserve answers on whether the massive investment was properly deployed, abandoned or crippled by mismanagement. The Speaker urged the Ministers of FCT, Finance and Interior, alongside the Inspector General of Police, Council Chairman and heads of security agencies to offer full cooperation, appealing to traditional rulers to strengthen intelligence sharing with security operators. Earlier, Chairman of the committee, Mr. Ojogo Donald, said the worsening security challenges in Abuja had turned the city into a theatre of fear, adding the committee's task is national responsibility owed to grieving families and anxious residents. The House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating Nigeria's power sector reforms and expenditure from 2007 to 2024 has summoned some government agencies for evading legislative oversight. These are Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, Budget Office of the Federation, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Ministries of Finance and Power, and Office of the Auditor General. Chairman of the committee, Architect Ibrahim Al-Mustafa Aliyu, issued the summons at the committee's continued investigative hearing on Thursday at the National Assembly. He expressed frustration that several government institutions repeatedly ignored official correspondence and failed to submit documents crucial to the investigation, and warned that the committee would no longer tolerate what he called an emerging pattern of avoidance by agencies expected to provide clarity on decades of public spending in the electricity supply industry. The lawmaker therefore directed the agencies to appear no later than 8 December 2025, warning that failure to do so would compel the House to invoke its constitutional powers. The House of Representatives has underscored the necessity of strengthening the Code of Conduct Bureau, Tribunal, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, stating it is crucial to the fight against corruption in the public sector and restoring citizens' trust in governance. Chairman House Committee on Anti-Corruption, Mr. Kayode Akiolu, speaking at a public hearing on bills seeking the amendment of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal at the National Assembly, said the Code of Conduct Bureau, Code of Conduct Tribunal, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission have long been frontline institutions in Nigeria's effort to promote public integrity and accountability. He, however, noted that over time, the legal framework governing these bodies encountered various challenges hindering the effectiveness of their operations and, by extension, the fight against corruption. Other stakeholders at the public hearing also agreed that amending all three bills will heighten the corruption fight. Speaker of the House, Dr. Abbas Tajuddin, who was represented by the Deputy Minority Leader, Dr. Aliyu Madaki, to declare the session opened, stating that as the country's democracy matures and legal and governance landscape evolves, it becomes imperative to revisit the enabling framework guiding these institutions and strengthen them to meet contemporary challenges. The National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, has emphasized the need for better education and accurate information among young Nigerians on HIV, as new findings show that nearly 55% of them remain poorly informed about the virus. Speaking at a youth-focused HIV awareness event held in Abuja to mark the 2025 World HIV Day, the Director General, NACA, Dr. Temitope Ilori, attributed the knowledge gap partly to poor public sensitization. Let's join Elizabeth Kasham for more.
Dr. Temitope Ilori observed that inadequate access to healthcare services, gender-related vulnerability, and socio-cultural pressures contributed to the recent data of 240,000 young Nigerians living with HIV/AIDS. She therefore called for stronger and more coordinated collaboration among stakeholders across all sectors to ensure adequate access to information and enabling environment free from the disease.
They feel HIV is a myth, they feel it does not exist, they feel it's just something on paper. But unfortunately, we're still having new infections. Just the last year, 2024, there was over 70,000 Nigerians that came down with HIV as a new infection. And therefore, and the young people are the most vulnerable. The incidence is higher amongst them. And therefore, we believe that we need to empower them with knowledge, we need to empower them with information, because they say our people perish for lack of knowledge.
Young participants at the program spoke on the challenges of stigmatization and emphasized the need for greater protection, noting that sustained enlightenment for adolescents and young people is vital in educating them about the realities of the global HIV/AIDS pandemic.
I want the government to create an organization for HIV/AIDS where people can be taught on how to live even with that virus, how to live longer than people without it, and learn how to be confident about it and outspoken.
At our age of adolescence, we are eager for many things. We want to have many experience. Having experience is not a problem, but try to protect yourself. Always try to know you stand on a plan B. You must not go out full in everything. Always try to stay protected.
In commemoration of World AIDS Day, NACA, in partnership with other health agencies, during the Adolescent and Young People Symposium theme Gen N, Empowering Adolescent Young People for Long Life and Well-Being, gathered together youth to sensitize them via diverse performance on the cause and prevention of AIDS, while pledging their unwavering commitment to supporting individuals living with HIV/AIDS. Elizabeth Kasham, ASO Television News.
AIDS Healthcare Foundation, together with network of people living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, have raised concern over the persistent stigma and discrimination that continue to discourage many Nigerians from seeking HIV care. Speaking at a media-focused meeting hosted by the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, AHF Nigeria's country representative, Dr. Eche Ijezie, alongside NEP1's national president, Abdul Kadir Ibrahim, emphasized that key populations still face significant barriers to accessing treatment. They called on government and the media to play a stronger role in supporting efforts aimed at helping Nigeria overcome HIV.
Sustainability and integration. This is a topical matter that is worthy of discussion, that is worthy of enlightenment, that is worthy of focus. So I just wanted to mention it, that as we're having these discussions, let's begin to crystallize some of the focus areas that are of interest, areas that matter, areas that are topical, that the media has a role to play, that we need to close and do better. And this is the right time for us as a country to identify those areas and close the gap. Automatically, our prevention interventions has reduced in the global landscape. Now, what is important is for the country to look inward and ensure that all the achievements that we have recorded, all the gains that have been achieved are sustained. And I think it is one of the themes of this year's World AIDS Day, Now, in sustaining that and addressing the barriers of the disruption, what thing we need to do as a representative of the recipient.
FCT Assistant Secretary and representative of the National Coordinator, Association of Women Living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, Queen Johnson, lamented the slow access to sensitization and healthcare for pregnant women, particularly those in rural communities.
Also see a way to improve healthcare facilities, and for some facilities through a way where facilities can have more staffs to work with. I was just looking at a message on the internet where a particular state do not have healthcare staffs. And we can imagine where we have pregnant women, for like 10 women who are unable to get tested, who are unable to get a healthcare worker to attend to them when they are in labor. If those women are positive, what happens to the babies?
As the nation joins the rest of the world to mark the 2025 World AIDS Day on December 1st, the message remains clear. Nigeria must intensify its collective effort to ensure no one is left behind in the fight against HIV and AIDS. You are watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, federal government designates Victor Attah Airport, Uyo, as international airport. Stay with us for details of these and more stories.
The Nigeria International Air Show is much more than just about aircraft. It's transforming an entire continent's sub-regional security architecture and ecosystem. It's ensuring protection for over 350 million families and 60 million businesses so that Africa can truly rise to new heights and revolutionary ideas can take flight.
The Nigeria International Air Show holds at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja from December 2nd to 4th, 2025. Book your attendance now at www.nigeriairshow.ng/attendees. For sponsorship and partnership inquiries, call +234 915 557 0049 or send an email to inquiry@nigeriairshow.ng. Nigeria International Air Show, giving wings to the Pan-African dream.
Many thanks for staying with us. And as the world marks World Toilet Day 2025, the Executive Director, Center for School Health, Education and Environmental Hygiene, Dr. Folashade Olushola Momo, has called for acknowledgement of the importance clean toilets have on health and everyday living. She made a call at an event held to commemorate World Toilet Day 2025 at the Model Primary School, Apo Legislative Quarters, Abuja. Harris Sidi Siraju reports. And we apologize to bring you the reports in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, a non-governmental organization, Yes We Can, has called on Nigerian youth to unite and take possession of their future. The national coordinator, Dr. Bala Joshua, gave the advice while officially unveiling the emblem of the initiative in Abuja. Tapsi Gimba has the details.
Dr. Bala Joshua said Nigerians are standing at a crossroads in their national history, saying the choices youth make today determined their tomorrow. He said for too long, their voices have been silent, votes stalling, and their future hijacked. The national coordinator said the Yes We Can initiative serves as a revolution to create awareness towards achieving a new Nigeria.
We believe that one of the easiest ways to make the needed positive change is only when the masses is willingly and intentionally accept to come out to vote for a credible candidate. Nigeria has over 60 million voters. But any time there is voting, you only have 20-something million or less than 30 million votes. What is the rest doing? So that is one of the key areas we are focusing at. For us to have credible leaders, we must engage our people to come out to vote.
The head of international diplomats, Professor Eket Epayon, said youth have a critical role to reshape the country. Professor Epayon said, unless the youth redefined the direction of the country,
Nigeria still remains a virgin land. That is it. The problem we have is that everybody wants to work in government. Everybody wants to be employed. If we can just shift away from that a little bit, our population will become our greatest asset. So let us make use of our great population, and diversify. There's nothing you produce in this country, as long as it is solving a problem, you will sell it.
Also speaking at the occasion, the Social Democratic Party SDP aspirant for Abuja Municipal Area Council chairmanship, Mr. Obinna Simon, tasked the organizers of the initiative to avoid being willing tools to the politicians.
They have to be very careful. Take into note, they should have a standard of their association, okay? They should have a standard to endorse a candidate. They should have a standard to, align themselves with any candidate or politician.
Speaking after the unveiling, the national coordinator, Dr. Bala Joshua, said the Yes We Can initiative is fully committed, that the initiative is building structures across the country to ensure the next elections would be a paradigm shift. Topsy Gimba for ASO Television News.
The federal government has been called upon to stop human rights abuses in the country. A lawyer working with the FCT Federal High Court, Barrister Matthew Okeke, and also an author of a newly launched book, Fundamental Human Rights and Enforcement in Nigeria, made a call during a public presentation of his 2 books in Abuja. Again, let's join Topsy Gimba for the details.
Barrister Matthew Okeke said Nigerians are living in a debased human rights where their rights are trampled upon with impunity. He said until adequate awareness is created, human abuse in Nigeria will remain always an issue.
In fact, if you are talking of human rights, the last bus stop is the judiciary. And when you look at the judiciary, you look at the bar, you look at the bench. So it's not an issue of a political statement or calling on federal government or calling on state government. No. What we are saying is that everybody should reflect on what we consider to be a debasing attitude. Very unacceptable.
A childhood friend to the author, Mr. Nwanyi John Paul Ikena, said the book Fundamental Human Rights and Enforcement in Nigeria will help to address the injustice Nigerians are experiencing on a daily basis. He said the book has opened a new chapter in creating awareness of human rights abuses in the country.
These books are so important that they will change the narrative of Nigeria, what we are seeing and what is going on with our country these days. The country needs to change its narrative, its ways of leadership, its ways of applying the law. So he's a lawyer, well-learned lawyer. He has worked with the Justice Office of this Federation in Abuja here. And I think he knows who he is. We need people of truth, people of great wisdom and understanding to move this country forward.
The father of the day at the public presentation of the 2 books, Otis Anyaji, the OB of Okija, also talked about the books, describing them as books that call to be used in the Nigerian educational curriculum.
Take it in, and take it in together with the express provisions in the Constitution. Chapter 4 outlines 12 rights for every citizen, apart from obligations placed on various arms of government to also serve the people. So this book will help anybody who wants to understand what his or her rights are in a system like ours.
The public presentation of the books attracted retired justices as well professors from the university academia. Topsy Gimba, reporting for ASO Television News.
The federal government has officially designated Victor Attah International Airport to you as an international airport, clearing the way for it to begin processing international passengers. Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo announced the approval in Abuja after meeting with Akwa Ibom State Governor Umar Eno. He said the airport already meets global standards with a modern runway, advanced facilities, and a world-class maintenance, repair, and overhaul center capable of handling large aircraft.
We have 3.6 kilometers. That is standard international runway that can even take an A380-800. You can land it. The terminal building that is being built there is built purposely to process passengers, international passengers. I went into that facility. It's a wonderful facility. So what we have there, that the governor
Minister Keyamo said a joint team from aviation agencies including Customs, NIMET, FAN and NCAA would commence the process of transmitting from local operations to international operations. Governor Moore welcomed the designation and reviewed plans to expand the airport ecosystem with a cargo terminal and residential quarters for airport staff. He expressed optimism that the first international flight would take off from Uyo by the first quarter of 2026. The Nigerian Aviation and Aerospace Minister Festus Keyamo has been inducted as an honorary fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, one of the highest recognitions of the professional body, with only 16 recipients in its 60 years history. The minister's special advisor on media and communications, Tunde Moshood, in a statement said the institute lauded Keyamo's leadership in modernizing aviation infrastructure, noting his role in renewing airport, promoting world-class design standards, and strengthening the link between aviation development and national architecture. In his acceptance speech, the minister thanked the institute for the honor and stressed the importance of integrating Nigerian culture into urban planning and national infrastructure. He reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to building innovative, resilient, and culturally relevant aviation facilities that support economic growth. The Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has re-emphasized efforts of the President Bola Tinubu-led administration to full realization of its renewed hope agenda through investment initiatives. The minister made this known in Abuja during the opening ceremony of the 5th edition of Arab African Trade Business Board of Governors meeting, assuring of more dividends of good governance. A business correspondent, Ile Meje, was there and files in this report.
The Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, emphasized commitment of the President Bola Tinubu-led Renewed Hope agenda to repositioning the nation's economy through enhanced investment pursuit.
Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR's Renewed Hope agenda to reform the Nigerian economy, Nigeria is implementing bold actions to reposition for rapid, sustained, and inclusive growth. And I'm sure, even as you're part of your preparation for attending this particular forum, you are aware of the metrics of the improved macroeconomic situation in Nigeria.
In their goodwill message, one of the facilitator and the Secretary General, Islamic International Trade Finance, Engineer Adib Al-Ama, disclosed that the event aims to stimulating a robust business growth.
We also want to be able to see how we can facilitate joint ventures where we have processors and manufacturers that would set up in Nigeria. Because one of the things that we've seen, or I believe that Nigeria can do more of, is industrialize. So having programs like this allows us to bring together those that are processing, manufacturing, connect them to those that are producing, and see how we can create jobs through industrialization.
Today is putting the fertile ground for creating the opportunities. But it's really important that you seize this opportunity to go forward. Agribusiness is no doubt one of the fundamental aspects of any economy. It's important for economic diversification, it's important for sustainable impact, and above all, it's important for food security of our countries.
According to them, the event would also pave the way for better living standard of all citizens. Ile Emeje, ASO Television News.
And that's the news. I am Tina Oje Achu. Many thanks for watching.